It happens to those who aren't deemed strong enough in human society. The men in blue suits with red marks streaking across their chest and stomach come and take the one deemed unworthy away after their coming of age ceremony. Nobody knows their destination, except for the adults, it seems. For whenever the men come, the parents begin to cry. It is a sad spectacle to behold. Only one person was persistent enough about keeping his child that he resorted to following the takers. He was never seen or heard from again. We know the takers haven't caused him any harm. They never touch a soul, just lead him to whatever destination that holds the unworthy. The sun had just risen, the birds chirped, and everything was normal when I awoke. It was a good day, my 16th birthday to be exact. I didn't know what form of employment they would schedule me in, but I was excited to find out. I mean, this was the day where I would come to be of age, to be a man. I ran downstairs, but as soon as my foot fell on the final step, a loud knocking was heard on my door. I slowly approached. My parents were asleep, and I didn't wish to wake them. Slowly, I opened the door to meet with 6 tall men in blue suits. The first smiled with a kind face. He reached his hand out for mine to shake. I obeyed his request, shaking lightly and greeting with my name. We are the society, or takers, as you call us. We have looked over your file and deemed you not physically strong enough to give in to society. My throat went dry when they said this. I didn't know how to respond. I gargled a bit, trying to choke out something before 2 of the men grabbed me and tied my hands behind my back. They tied a long red bandage over my eyes so I couldn't see. I cried out to my father to only the sounds of screams and sadness. My mother was screaming for Dad to not let him take me, but I was hastily pushed into some kind of vehicle. The blindfold was removed. The first thing I saw was the kind face of a first man, and he smiled warmly and gave me a bit of comfort to my current situation. It will be all right. It doesn't hurt for long. All comfort dried up, and I stared, shocked at this man. We will be there soon. Now act your age and face what you're about to see with dignity. I tried and tried to reason with him. I didn't want to do this. All I wanted was to go home, to which he always replied, "Face what's coming to you with some dignity." His face shifted from kindness to annoyance. He tied the red bandage around the back of my head, forcing it so I couldn't speak. I stared at the man fearfully, but looked out the window to see nothing but long columns of trees. I didn't know what to say, but they moved by getting taller and taller. All I thought about was home. It was near Christmas time, and soon snowfall brought back so many memories. I began to sob lightly, thinking of all the good times with my family as we enjoyed the holidays. But that quickly ceased as the taker laid his hand across the back of my head. Act your age. He spat at me in disgust. I don't know what we began to drive on. I knew it wasn't the road. The van slowed a bit and the ground was blue. It seems to be frozen solid. To my horror, I realized we were driving on ice. I began to panic, thinking we were bound to fall through eventually. But we never did. Slowly we rolled onto the snow and I felt a little safer opposed to my current situation. Then the bandage was untied, and the man wrapped it around my arm as if I am about to get a shot, which I did, and the long needle was slipped into my arm, and an odd green liquid was injected into me. I felt something beginning to mold and shape my head. My ears began to grow larger. I cried out in pain as I shrank slowly, as well as the bones in my leg grinding slowly, making them shorten. I didn't know what was happening. The taker was laughing like it was all a joke. We continued on. The snow got deeper and deeper until it almost reached the van's windows. I was growing more and more afraid, and shorter and shorter. My clothing fell off as I was almost half my original size. They wrapped a cloth around my waist, hiding away my private area. And then the van came to a jerking stop, and I fell off my seat. The taker rose, which was the first sign of life in a while, only to grab me and throw me into the snow. And it began to depart as the man uttered, "Have fun, boy." He left with a loud laugh. The cold crept up my back slowly until my entire body was blue. I couldn't stand with my new shorter legs. Movement was very painful. And then I slowly began to drift into sleep, hearing a soft and kind laugh. It was